and
It's
you
going-
should go
Okay,
ahead.
now
and
it
set
is. Now it is.
Now it is. Okay. So thank you everyone for attending. Andy, do you mind just doing a quick roll
Yeah.
call? Let's be official.
Hold on there. Okay. Sayak.
Here.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Klein,
Here.
Flygore,
Here.
Jones,
Present.
Abakoga,
Here.
and Constantine is absent. And we also have present Special Counsel Kat Wellman, as well as City Manager Laurel Pavetti.
And I am not reporting out on a closed session. We did not have the closed session. We will reschedule that at a later time once I have availability from all of you. But today's agenda is consent agenda of a draft contract that authorizes me to approve and execute the contract that we discussed at our Cities Association board meeting a couple weeks ago. It's in front of you, and Kat is available to answer questions that we can be permitted to answer within open session. I am going to ask whether or not you feel comfortable authorizing me to at least sign this contract and get the process started, but completely understandable if you'd prefer a closed session first to meet the legal counsel. And we can certainly do that as well. But Laurel, you have your hand up.
Thank you. And Kat may want to mention this more specifically, but just so the executive board knows, we've taken a closer look at the draft contract and have made recommendations to Liebert Cassidy to have a not to exceed amount and some other clarifications to provide further protection for the executive board. And I think that's what our board president is saying in terms of if delegation is provided, then she would also seek the authority to make those types of clarifications and strengthen the contract on behalf of the Cities Association. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Chair, do you need that in the form of a motion?
Yes, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. And then Andy, do you mind just doing a roll call? Andy, you're on mute.
Oh, am I still?
No,
You're fine now.
Okay, hold on. So it was a motion by Jones, a second by Klein,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, Jones,
Aye.
Klein,
Yes.
Sayak,
Yes.
Abakoga,
Aye.
and Flygore,
Yes.
and Constantine absent.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, and so as follow-up, I'm going to ask two questions. First is to our legal counsel. I'm wondering to help expedite the process. I'm wondering if it makes sense, if we could just ask Maureen to put in paper the process, and that is sent to the executive committee confidentially so that they understand. So that's one question to Kat. And then if we can do that, I'm going to pose that to the committee. A memo explaining the process, would that be everyone's comfort level, or would you like me to schedule a meeting with her to further discuss? So Kat, the first question, can we do that?
Yes, you could ask for a confidential memo, but it wouldn't allow the executive board to ask any further questions, and it would just be about the process. So my recommendation would be is if anybody would like to have any more information that we would not discuss in open session, that you reschedule the closed session. And I can tell you that Maureen did tell me that she is available tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock if we could get a quorum.
Unfortunately, I can't make it. But I've had the opportunity to talk with her. So, so feedback from people?
Well, my feedback is I don't know what I don't know. So I would actually need to see, like, read the memo, and then I would be able to determine from there whether we need to schedule something to have an opportunity to ask questions. So my preference would be to have that memo drafted and distributed to the executive board.
I second that, Mariko. Let's start with the confidential memo. And I don't think the process moves that quickly. And so I think if there's a need for a closed session, we tack it on to our meeting or upcoming meeting in 1 or 2 weeks, as opposed to trying to expedite and schedule another meeting soon. So I'm 100% comfortable with getting the confidential memo and doing a closed session in 2 weeks if I have follow-up questions.
And just understanding that everyone's scheduling availability is limited. So that's why I posed that as a solution based on what happened today. So Kat and Laurel, I look to either of you. Is there?
I don't think that's a problem.
Okay.
I think that would be just fine.
Okay, and then so Margaret and Larry, I see nods. Okay,
Yes.
so just so that we're clear, we will follow up with Maureen to not only execute and make the changes with the contract. Again, substantially intent is the same. It's just to put financial protections for the association. I will ask for a confidential memo that outlines the process and that Andy and I will then look at when our next executive committee is. And since that's on everyone's calendar, I'll go ahead and add a closed session to that. So you'll have an opportunity not only to meet with Maureen, but any other people that we think you may want to meet. So, Nisa.
I'm also comfortable giving you broader delegation of authority. If you need to amend that contract as you see necessary, I'm totally comfortable. I don't know about the other executive board members, but you defined it so narrowly. I wouldn't want something to come up that we don't think of today, and then you think you have to wait till our closed session. I am 100% comfortable with you having that authority.
Thank you. So
And I'll second that also. I think
Okay, so
that makes sense.
Kat, Kat?
Yes, I just wanted to say that is the authority that you're actually delegating in the, if you look at what the item is in open session, it says you're authorizing her to approve and execute. So it does allow her to make the changes.
Okay. And that's reflected in the motion, right? So,
Yes.
Yes.
okay.
That was my intent.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's all that we had for this. And so thank you for that trust. I have a great team of Laurel and Kat helping me behind the scenes. So thank you all. And Andy, we'll go ahead and look at the next exec committee meeting, and we can go ahead and schedule that time now.
And I also want to throw out that Saturdays are a possibility. I know for most people, our social calendar is not as active now as it used to be. So there should be some availability for, early Saturday meeting if that's the best time for folks.
Well, I think we need to first of all find out when the attorney might be available, and we'll start with that first. But I'll broach that with her if you like.
The next executive board meeting is scheduled for Friday, March 5th.
Oh,
So
it's
next Friday. Yeah, week and a
Okay.
half. Or
Okay, so if we can just tack on some closed session time, Andy, that's perfect.
At the beginning, at the end.
I will touch base with Maureen to see her availability on either the beginning or at the end of that. So,
If I may say one thing,
yes, please.
I will, excuse me, I will speak to the attorney. And if she thinks it's going to cost us less for her to give you the process in closed session rather than write it out in a memo and then also appear in closed session, I would recommend that we do that since it's coming up right away on March 5th. And that might be a better way of doing it. We're trying to do whatever we can to not spend a lot of money on this process if we don't have to. Does that make sense?
Total sense.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Kat. So, okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. And so I will see everyone next Friday. We'll coordinate times with Maureen, and I appreciate your flexibility.
Thank you,
Thank
Marika.
Thank you, Mariko.
Thank you. Bye.
Mayor.